And so much time has already passed because, well, they're trying to work out what's happening. Again, the reveal here. Beaulo can play this as tucked as he likes. The focus has to be on the fight. He's coming up and going down. He doesn't need the gunfight, but all he needs to do is this be a nuisance. He's a loud clip in the window, and, well, now everybody's the clipped in the window. He's out of time for the defusal. The blitz finally shows up.
It's not usually that easy, though, is it?
Not usually. There's the roam. That's going to make things more difficult. That's step one. Clear out the roamers.
Impacts will soar over the head of the Montaigne to try and dislodge whatever Selmas have been applied, and, well, it works out. Nave softened up as Adrian takes his licks too. Pambazoo dies. NJR taking some damage as Groovy looks for the flank. It's a Claymore down, and Groovy can just skate around it, but unfortunately for him, NJR is in a great position to greet him. Canadian has lost one.
Boosting advantage.
There goes an Adrenal Surge, just to try and top up the players that you see that have taken some damage from DZ. Both NJR and Nave are not as healthy as they were to start off this round, certainly not. One Nitro Cell, so that explosive could deal some damage to Canadian and the Monty as he tries to get the plant down, but doubt it would kill him. Now the roam clear with 1 minute to go, moving their way through Archives. Miracle on the board. Goodbye, Nave. Goodbye to the Flores.
Oh.
A nice trade back from NJR. The mayor's office right now at the top of blue, Nick.
And with that kill, they can plant now because now Canadian walks in with that extended shield, only planting again. That one C4 that can't reach from the back of the bomb side, so Adrian has to get a flank off here to deal with Savage.
Not just Adrian, there's two of them. Savage taking down NJR, Adrian eliminating Beaulo, and the Monty in sight alone. Canadian has no choice but to pull out the pistol himself. It doesn't work. Triumphant, victorious scream from Jooms. Can't help you notice that there's a couple FaZe Clan charms on the side of Secret. I don't know if that was done earlier or in response. You what? You're dead.
He's dead.
No, don't say swears like that. The clash burnt to a crisp inside of servers, and honestly an excellent counter from Secret if Miracle had been able to survive, but look at the lineup on the right side of Secret. There's nothing to stop a Capital. Wamai obviously the main counter to deal with him. The clash just killed off. Not much you can do.
Statistically right now for DC, just walk in, bait out of smoke, rinse repeat 3 times. The 4th time there's no toxic babes, you can plant down that diffuser because you have the Monty. Secret had to go for a flank or hit some ridiculous shots on the bomb side to get back into this round.
Canadian's gonna try it. Joom gets picked off. A nice shot from Savage. Next one up. Savage doing some serious damage. It's all up to Groovy left on site. Now Pambazoo will join the party up on top of blue. Gets the read on to Savage. Diffuser down. Canadian will watch over that. You have a Monty in this position. It's so challenging to deal with it. Beaulo peeking around the corner. Groovy reduced to 1 HP to get the kill. Now if you're DarkZero, all you need to do is play the waiting game. Diffuser past the halfway point. Groovy's whereabouts continue called by Canadian, and it's the skeleton key to actually get the job done. Good read, and well, I mean, there wasn't much HP on the side of Groovy, but at close range, the skeleton key can do a deceptive amount of damage.
They're gonna fly. Okay, so they might just either rush janitors, fly down the main skylight, have one guy on the window or pelt bombs out, of course, and one guy go in heaven. All Canadian has to do is basically get the first kill or get traded by his teammate. They need space. If they can get in and keep the ground that they gain, it's okay even if Canadian dies.
Just about everyone in Groovy's magnet is found out, but Savage in a spot that lives up to his namesake. Canadian goes for the dive on in. He face plants. Savage torn apart. But NJR and Beaulo give the numbers advantage to DarkZero. Now it's Pamba's turn as he drops Miracle. Inside a janitor swings around. But Joom's just a better shot. With the Roni, that high rate of fire is going to do some serious damage. Joom, another. A 2v2. B's going out. And another for Joom, who's just unstoppable in this position. So little life, it can't even really be spotted. NJR will now tussle with Groovy. Look at the HPs on the side of Secret. Very, very limited. 2 bullets from NJR, but he's gonna have a reflex test. Try to draw him out. Down goes Groovy, not anticipating the reposition. Joom's looking for a cross! And he gets siege timing as NJR switches to the secondary. Secret answer back after dropping the previous round. Might be scattered throughout the map. They are. Dave will go back onto one very briefly, and then, of course, the Deimos, too. So much information right now at DarkZero's fingertips.
Yep. And yet they still get a little bit surprised in the angle there, perhaps. But Canadian, again, with the Monty, can just walk in. But be careful, because it is an overaggressive. He wants to get aggressive here with Groupie's end. Just dash into Canadian. He could go for it, but there has to be a trade behind him.
Grenade used just to zone Groovy off of his position, but while he has the dash, the other benefit of the Oryx is the ability to jump up. Nave needs to secure both of these picks and does so. They both dive right into him. Say goodbye to your Oryx, say goodbye to your Solus. Fenrir is still on the board, allows Canadian to be nearsighted. As you know, Adrian's position in the corner. He seems wise to it now. There go the boogie drones above Canadian, who looks for some assistance. Everybody is still upright from DarkZero. Oh, the hatch is gone as it looked like he needed a quick escape. Miracle and Joom, the last two standing for Secret. Nobody from DarkZero removed just yet. Joom will retake from above, a flawless round. Disappears as Beaulo is removed from this round. NJR, one of his own diffuser, running away against Secret. And Miracle will look for kill number 2. The Monty was coming at him in a hurry. Nafe, a third kill in the round. That's another for DZ. A lot of data that we can talk about in the regional leagues as to how Bank is played, but one of the fun things of live events is after the first to second day of full team action, then we can start to look at these numbers. There's a brief read onto Joom. Nafe secures the kill, and out goes the death mark from Bambazoo. He'll track him down.
Gotta be careful, that's for sure. And this is the thing, Secret, they want to get in the fight early, they lose smoke. Now they brought a backup plant denier in the echo, but the smoke is the big time denier. That's what buys you that, the seconds on the clock that's gonna make it close enough for echo to matter. So now Secret, they gotta play another win condition. They might have to get on the offensive here, try and go for the isolation kills with the echo. The Solus being shot down again.
NJR has 7 kills through 4.5 rounds at this point, and an 8th could be had as well. So that looks like Miracle defending the top of Blue Stairs. But losing Joom early, losing that smoke, completely throws a spanner in the works for Secret, because you can't do that usual rhythm to deny time.
Yep, and now you lose Solus for intel shortly after, so the win conditions definitely fading away here for the defensive side. Maybe one saving grace here could be Miracle on the server staircase, get a couple of kills, that could be possible, but time is actually becoming winnable now with the Yoga Jones. 40 seconds left, DC yet to go for the next step of execution, but it looks like they're rotating to the main staircase, maybe a lobby hatch drop here, and changing up their approach. They don't want to deal with Miracle.
There goes the Yokai drone as well. Only one Goyo canister unaccounted for as there's one at the top of Blue. Adrian dies inside of lockers, and now it's free for Canadian to go for this plant. The suspicion was maybe they'll go towards the front of the site. Groovy with what a beautiful flick. NJR reduces Miracle to rubble. It's all up to Groovy, who again is on 1 point of HP. How many rounds have we seen a player just sitting on a single point of HP in this matchup? Gotta think if you're on attack, an operator like Finka can help. On defense, somebody like a Thunderbird maybe. The 3 remaining players of DarkZero do what we knew they were all gonna do, which is find the remaining portion of Groovy's life and throw it in the bin.
Not gonna happen this round, but it's up in the lineup. So you gotta clear it out. Canadian with a C4 downstairs, misses his timing, doesn't even do a single point of damage onto Groovy, so he's up and alive. And those C4s can be very crucial later on, and that was the only one from DC, so if this comes to a late round plant deny situation, DC not looking too good. They gotta get some wins early in this round.
Well, Savage starts things off with Canadian, who has no excuse to not find the scoreboard in this second half, unless he were to play Clash the whole time. Joom traded off, so there go your Twitch drones, which is great news, frankly, for both the Echo and, more importantly, for the Goyo. If those Goyo canisters have yet to be popped, Beaulo is going to be in such a good spot now that the Twitch drone has been removed, because when you look at Bank, usually your primary focus is a Twitch. Take out the Goyo canisters and maybe get mirrors if there's a mirror on the board.
Yep. In this case, Echo, of course, as well. Also, nice thing here from DC, they put a bunch of mute jammers in the server staircase, and it's just like they're not playing there at all. But it's taking Secret like 30-40 seconds. They're not even cleared it yet, actually. I don't think they know that server staircase is clear because of those mute jammers. So they're spending all this time opening the hatch, droning, getting jammed, droning, getting jammed. They don't really know until recently.
We just got a good look at it. The Goyo canisters are still set up by the door on the table. So you've bought yourself a lot of time. Each of those canisters lasts 20 seconds. Well, you pop one canister, you stagger it well enough. There goes one. There's another. Trying to get shot by Secret. And there they go. They get the vantage point. But that last canister went off at 46 seconds. That means if you want a default plant, you can't do it until there's 25 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, you got Yokais and 3 talks about to do with Secret here. Like they gotta go for a deep plant somewhere else, not by default, or explode around the bomb site on in itself to take some couple of kills there. But Beaulo swings first and gets punished for it.
Nade goes down, and while NJR doesn't have to worry about immediate death, it's on him, and he backs away now. All those fires have stopped. Toxic Babes to be thrown out, littering the site. But he's actually missed the default spot. He absolutely has to nail this one. Hard to tell if he did. Miracle stumbling off of his position. Both teams coming to blows. As now Miracle will attempt yet again. Nafe looking for it, but the IQ might have just saved the round. Pambazu and Nafe will need to shoot them their way out of this position as Savage bails off of that spot. Pambazu's retaking from above. Diffuser not working in DZ's favor. And Pambazu doing his best, but it's a huge round from Savage. Nafe hops on, and he won't be able to stick it. A 4K from Savage to give Secret their first win on attack and through the first round on attack. I know some of the analysts in conversation have been critical of the role that Canadian plays. Looking to strike and eventually get onto the scoreboard. Not yet, but Savage's entry from over towards Square has met the hands of Beaulo.
Changing mags.
A hell of a shot by Beaulo. Lots of players know exactly what it's like to be on the receiving end of that.
Ready to engage.
Candela's now over towards that stock trading doorway, but nobody's taking the bait just yet. Beaulo engaging the smart glasses in case Ying decides to focus on that part of the map. Right now, all of the forces from Secret are split. Almost as if they're playing completely independent of one another. You might say that's a bit disorganized, or it could be a team that really trusts each other to get the job done. Adrian looking for an opportunity and just might get it, as now Nave's position is somewhere else. Players seemingly not hearing this, by the way. As Chaos now breaks out, Beaulo swings in. He's got both kills for DZ so far. Secret drawing even into a 3v3, and now it's Bolo's turn to fall off and seek some safety in the open area bomb site.
Yeah, it was isolation alone there from Secret, but they struck from so many different angles with the same overall objective. Take top floor control from Heaven Skylight, stock window, and up the lobby staircase. And honestly, because they lost Savage early on, it's now a 3 versus 3. But they got 2 kills at the cost of 1, so it's a positive trade for the attack inside. But I will say, this position right now in the map still favors DarkZero. They can lock down the bomb set for now. Secret, those bees gotta get some immense value right now. The last one in pocket of Ruby, all they gotta find a pick.
Groovy gets himself in harm's way, dealt with by NJR and Pambazu, as it's not just Beaulo to get these kills, but Miracle clutches it anyway! And it's hard to argue against that information helping his team, but you gotta get kills too.
Not just that, but I've been actually looking at it because whenever Canadian dies on defense so far, it's like you can die alone, nothing happens, or you die and teammate gets a kill. Canadian just kind of dies and nothing comes after. That base round on mute dies, no trade. Previous round, he died, and sure, Beaulo got a kill, but then a whole nother player across the bomb side. Speaking of the devil, Canadian got his first kill on Adrian on the rappel and lobby. Great shot from him. He's now on the scoreboard, but it comes in round number 9. Claps in the chat. It's a 5v5.
We need some claps in the chat, please.
So it
I mean,
happens.
a very high-profile target.
Yeah.
That's your main hard destructor. The only hard destruction that's actually present, because if you look at the secondary lineups, none of these operators have brought the can opener.
Yeah.
None of them have a secondary hard breach. And there goes the shield. And with it, you've got to suspect that this severely hurts the chances of Secret. A run out by Canadian, and Miracle gets him. But that was a relatively easy kill. Secret cannot run behind this clock for too much longer, as there's 30 seconds left in this 9th round. The gap that they have worked so hard to And Large is now going to shrink with a loss in this round. Beaulo positioned in a spot where he's very familiar with. Down goes Miracle. Groovy, 1 kill. He's dropped on the stairs. And Pambazoo will get the final kill onto Joom as DarkZero keeps this one close. 1 round away, and it's an immediate successful conversion on DZ's timeout.
We have this double shield strat where we rush third into side and start planting or something crazy like that, because I think Thermite, Monty, and Blitz, that screams direct attack for me, not a roam clear. And they're all spawning server side. Monty in server, Blitz gonna go server staircase. This is a pocket strat.
It could be a quick one as well if they get the all clear. Server walls are soft and a very similar defensive setup that we saw from DarkZero previously. Maybe not as much of a rush as we had thought, but still gaining information. Nave is gambling this yokai, and Canadian dies through the
Did he wallbang him?
wall?
Or was he playing server stairs? I didn't see where he was playing.
He was shooting through the soft
He
wall.
was inside, he was wallbanged.
On a smoke! On a smoke!
Against 2 shield operators, it gets worse.
If you're DarkZero, you're doomed!
Yeah, you are. Oh, so he sees the yokai. Nah.
There's no way! And that was a one-shot headshot through a wall.
Yeah.
You have some opinions on that.
I do. I don't think that should be allowed. I think it should do a lot of damage when I just take you out clean like that. But this is my opinion, okay? But I'm sure Canadian who died to it agrees with me.
Ooh, Chad, boo. Why are you booing me? I'm right.
Who in the right mind is a Monty, sees the yokai drone, and starts tapping the wall? Miracle's a genius. But look at this DC, they're closing in, but they're losing their gunfights again. Now Pamela's out of the count. 3v5 favoring Secret.
I don't know how many yokais Nave still has available. I think the one might have gotten away safely, but the other, who knows?
That's one.
Beaulo still has those Goyo canisters strewn about the bomb site. You just have to play for time here. This is a winnable round for DarkZero still.
Sure.
Even though things look so bad, it's still very winnable based on the utility they have. But you've got to start winning these fights, and I mean, now it's not winnable at this point, actually. Oh, NJR destroys Miracle. Groovy is next. Revolver out. 13 kills for him. As there goes a smoke, and a reload is the smart play. Now around. Destroys Joom. Savage and Adrian is the last 2 remaining. Savage has been the best gun so far for Secret. He's on the blitz. It'll all come down to Adrian on the coverage.
It's a 1v5.
They had everything going! There's no fucking way he does that! 1v5!
Are you having a nightmare? Wake up! Wake up! It's a nightmare!
Are you having a nightmare, says Canadian. He haunts you in your sleep. 5-5 now. Things are very much tied up. Secret starts clutching. DC the answer back in a bigger fashion. And now it comes down to, I think, the mental game. How many more strats do you have? Iterations, different ways of doing the same thing to keep it new and surprising, but also losing a round like that, what does that do to you mentally if you're Secret? It's 1-4 trade, still even a round score. This fire is gonna do some damage to Pambazoo as well.
There were some long faces on that bench of Secret, but they were at least laughing towards the end of it, and you have to keep up the mental at this level. Nice swing by Savage as he hits both of the goo mines that were laid out by Pambazoo shortly before his death. That should have been a round for Secret, and with what they're doing right now, this should be the match. But it won't be. DarkZero have earned themselves at least one more opportunity. Savage has been wonderful so far for Secret.
He has been the entry, the flex, he's been denying the intel. He can pretty much do it all right now. Ruby, we said his name a couple times, but he's pretty quiet on the scoreboard 4-9, but playing those less sexy roles, the capital fire, a lot of drone work, enabling other players like Savage, like Joom in these rounds. NDR again alive, 2 versus 4, better numbers than last, so anything is possible, but that C4 goes wide, he doesn't find anybody, and he didn't get shut down as well.
He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat at this point. NJR with 16 kills. He just pulled off a 1v5, and the odds are better this time. It's a 1v4. Maybe not on the operator, best designed for it. The P shooter of the MPX. Limited recoil, I mean, hey. But how many do you drag down with you before you go?
They're bleeding him out right now. Look at this. Like last time they were running toward him, they're bleeding him out right. Adrenaline surging, man. He's so ready for it. Time. It's actually a strategic thing you can do in like a 4 versus 1. And now that's gonna leave his body, he's gonna shake, now it's gonna be over.
Smoke going off. Too many targets as they've closed in on him as the soft walls do him no favor. And Adrian ends it. The Twitch pulling out the sidearm to get the job done. Secret should have just won the match. But they have one more chance to close it up. That moment in front of a crowd.
Exact. Oh, man.
The roof on this place would have been blown right off.
What a shame.
Listen here. Hi. Are you attending the Manchester Major? I'm talking to you if you are. I don't know if you heard the crowd in Brazil, but they were pretty loud.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear similar things from you, not just to the Brits, but everybody who's joining from all over the world. Bad start to a pivotal round for DarkZero. They're living on borrowed time in a way.
A bomb has been located.
Nave finds an early grave. Secret get the leadoff pick. There's a Monty yet again. The shields have been the story of this map, outside of NJR, of course.
Yeah, this is the thing, Brett. When you lose a player on match, like down on match point for DC, everyone's gonna feel you have to make a play now, a hero play that is. Jump out a window, go for a stupid fight, because if you don't, you're gonna choke out very slowly, but very surely. So Secret now, they gotta be ready for this. Canadian in the front lines, not the greatest player, but he has that experience. He's not gonna shake in these moments, hold his ground, he's not gonna fall back, he knows he's stuck in this corner, but Secret, they have to clear him out. Canadian's just gonna stick it.
And Canadian dies to Savage, but his attention was elsewhere, maybe trusting the mirror of NJR's swing. Beaulo from long distance. But this one's not going very well for them at all. NJR now gone off the board. It's all up to Pan Bazoo. But it's Secret who will have the party. They topple DarkZero 7-5.
Well, to be fair, I suppose, maybe, depending on where Tayu decides to go, him around that B-bomb chassis.
Are they hunting? Yes, they are. I was about to say fish-like. Rex able to get the instant trade back there. They might not have seen both the two players that were underneath. The Valkyrie was stuck in the corner, vaguely towards Kitchen, waiting for the verticality to come into pressure. They're pulling off.
But this is the concern I have. This is where DZ can really thrive. You've given them a whole minute to set up their execute. You're not really disrupting them, and they have the utility to open up these reinforcements. So if ScarZ hold out on the site, they play trades, that's good. But DZ are going to get all the control they want, really.
Don't know if the impact trick was entirely impactful. They've been able to get themselves a slight rotate. The spray from underneath, but just going to drift further away. Big Bad Nadian is hunting without wings currently, as the buck is obviously removed. 30 seconds, though.
Good nade.
Yeah, at some point he's going to have to see if he can try and swing the pressure around with Shoy. He's going to have to go past the open Selma breach. The motion comes out. There's the catch.
Nice.
Perfectly played by Beaulo. But 20 seconds. They're still going to try and get their boots inside the ground. The pressure is coming through from IT. They have the split. They have Canadian underneath, rotating up towards Blue. The kit is going to the same place. The pair of them trying to hot-foot it all the way through, tuck themselves round to the corner of the A chassis, but it's caught in the crossfire. Tayu from deep, and IT Doors able to get it. Nadian, he's picked it back up. He's holding onto the plant. It's technically a 1 versus 1. Can they find the single fight wreck? He's going wider and wider, but he's out of time. He's not able. DZ, hold it down. Suddenly came back in with all these adaptations. Beast Ghost just couldn't handle.
Time to make a new door!
And you almost sometimes need to be so quick against DZ that you don't give them time to react. Force them to burn that timeout, force them to adjust outside of it, but then keep forcing them to change things, keep them on their feet. Listen, Canadian's a great IGL, don't get me wrong. If there's anybody that can keep up with the paces or keep up with the changes, it's him. But try your best to always keep them guessing, like this right here. Fish-like just sitting inside of IT, undroned. Beautiful stuff right there. That's exactly what I mean.
You've got a Jackal, you've got Sam Cams, and you've got your Thermite and Big Bad Nadian trying to send himself in for the engagement. They at least find Nina. Wishoy's also up here trying to dance with death, but the pressure that might come up the lobby stairs isn't one that he wants to find out what happens next. It's NJR screaming around the corner, and he's well aware of some presence, but look on the far side, Pamba. They're trying to get the pinch here on the players. There is 2 of them up here. Who's going to get the first catch? He cannot get too aggressive. They have to make sure that as soon as they get this, they're set up for the trade. The first fight goes against him, fish-like. Ducked onto the pillar. Now it's technically a 2 versus 1. Barek to just take, but NJR wins out the cover on the retreating player. How much attention now do they pay towards the site and towards these top loose players?
Well, That's what I was going to say. So they know there were 2 roamers up top. They've taken down one of them. They know Wreck is somewhere, or sorry, excuse me, Fishlike is somewhere in the wind, but actually they've just found them. So they know there's likely 2 players on the site. They've taken one down, retreating back. What do you know? And now that Washoi's down, this one's all done and dusted.
What?
I like the IQ down below, to be fair. I mean, we saw Bleed yesterday, and actually, when Nighthaven first got introduced, I think it was a DZ game as well. We would see IQs go below, try and deny the counter diffuse from the defense by having this IQ scanner down below. But DZ haven't cleared out the roam. They haven't acquired a lot of map control, but Panbum Beaulo might be trying to make a play up cargo.
I mean, here it is, 3-2-1, and they're trying to execute. There was the first engagement. They weren't gifted, but all control of cargo stairs. Now, the attention is on the verticality. How much are they paying it down? Well, there's the cross round! A cheeky double for Nina, instantly picked back up there by Big Bad Canadian. However, 50 seconds and all this aggression needs to find a solution, whether it's to pull back and try and reassess and reevaluate, or fully send it. The close-tuck player on the left is Fishlike. He's more than ready to lean into that engagement, tears the head off of the kick carrier and puts it cold once again. They're having to spend a lot of utility now to try and reclaim this verticality. They know that there's isolated fights. There's one. There's only one, though, dropped on the trade. 20 seconds. NJR can do pretty impressive things at points, but he's got to do them quite quickly. The player behind the mirror window with the hot pings doesn't really matter if he's not offering you the fight.
No. Well, he just sat there waiting. We'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, he's held his ground.
He said, you know what, NJR, you got the 1v5 yesterday. I'll let you pad the stats a little
You
bit.
can have this one.
But not the round. Ultimately not the round. And
Bit of a narrow approach, all the pings on the world. But DarkZero taking their time, cooking up around IT, just really weighing up how they want to approach this.
I mean, there's so much more utility kind of looking their way on the second floor. We have the castle and the mirror now. You mentioned the mirror being an addition, but the castle also being an addition on this site.
I mentioned that too.
Did you?
Yeah. It's
Sorry,
fun.
I was so focused on the mirror, I'm going to be honest.
We're getting over our language differences.
Exactly. No, but seriously, like, because I was thinking to myself, DarkZero banned a zombie, so easy to hold rafters. Well, hold on. Troy just meleeing the mirror window, then backing up completely. But this is why having your IG on the Monty is so great. He can literally call what he sees.
Yep. And Troy is a brilliant player. He's baiting them. As I said, he's forced this rotate now. Washoy has to play himself further away. Cannot defend so directly because if he swings that, he's caught out by the Monty that's holding on. They pull back. 50 seconds. Loads of time.
Loads of time, but also this is showing really great adaptations from ScarZ. He's got a fallback position to still contest that rotate behind the shield. I really like this strategy, and there's still Fishlike in the wind.
Now, this is when the catch of the rotating player could be devastating if it's not already watched. Beaulo gets reckoned, and Beaulo gets one more.
Well,
Washoy caught, executed on the site. Taiyu's in a very aggressive position, and Nina is dead. So, Taiyu is in the only position that is still held. Sprayed out, caught out, flawless. Then, yeah, all right, Dem, I'll give it to you. He's pretty good with the Muncie.
We don't actually have any hard breaching right now from DarkZero, which means they're not going to do the execute I kind of talked about, which in my mind is the default, but they do have the blitz, which makes me wonder, are we going to see a rush through the kitchen single or maybe down the freezer hatch?
I think kitchen single. I think they've realized how empty the site is, or are realizing it now. The Ram is getting some easy work done from the windows, which, again, any players that were directly close will be hopping out.
Oh, yeah,
there's
there we
the
go.
push, there's the throw, there's the rub, and there's the plant. They're caught in a mine, which will give a lot of the audio away, but it's an impossible situation to get them thrown out of. There's at least one that comes back in their favor, but Beaulo gets the header one, and they've got a post plant. Now, that verticality that was opened up by the Ram that they sort of handed into meeting needs to be retaken. They're outside. Big Bad Canadian's on the other side of the map, but we'll let him cook because he's the captain. Beaulo's ready on the window for the swing. Nina, the second he steps out, is going to be caught, and all the attention paid towards them, and so much time has already passed because, well, they're trying to work out what's happening. Again, the reveal here. Beaulo can play this as tucked as he likes. The focus has to be on the fight. He's coming up and going down. He doesn't need the gunfight, but all he needs to do is this be a nuisance. He's a loud clip in the window, and, well, now everybody's the clipped in the window. He's out of time for the defusal. The blitz finally shows up.
Going into tactical timeout, obviously Mint can talk to DZ as well. They're probably game planning what they want to do for a site they've already seen. Well, all right.
Bye, Nath.
Good night to Nath.
Let's see what I can find.
Just probably trying to catch both Mint during that timeout off guard and Canadian off guard because, you know, Canadian very famous for his adaptations, very famous at reading what he's already seen. So throwing a new site at the attack out of a tactical timeout, unless they anticipated it, is a pretty normal call, I feel, for a lot of teams. Still lost, but, you know.
Still lost. The breach and the break. happens across the side of Garage. They've obviously lost the early fight with Twitch, but there are still many, many ways for them to get this wall open. Taking the verticality is going to be the most important step here, as long as there's still some pressure coming through, and that's the pressure they're trying to rebuff. Look at the intel game on the right-hand side of your screen. The Valkyrie's been a constant, but you've got obviously the reveal of the FNAT mines, the Pulse that's just repeatedly fishing out there, and the Solace that's doing probably exactly the same thing, but 2 stories higher. They are making sure they know exactly where DarkZero is cooking, because think how long they've taken to plan their attacks.
They do take a long time to plan their attacks. You just got to be careful with 4 people upstairs that you don't make the same mistake as the previous round, that you leave it too empty and allow DZ to progress on in, because the Pulse, sure, Taiyu can call where the attack is, can call where they might be pushing from, but if you have 4 roamers and they're not actively playing vertical angles, they'll take a bit to react to the Pulse. You can already see that Capital Bolt is prepped, and I don't see a lot of vertical angles in that floor. I think they're just sending it in right now.
Well, there's the blinds, the smoke, the cover, and a lot of death and destruction, and all of it's coming up ScarZ right now. Big Bad Canadian. He's gone deeper into EXO and got himself 1, but he has to pop off a pretty hefty ace here, and if he gets this, well, maybe he will really be the defining moment of the day for 2 in a row. A minute. All the time in the world, but they have a very good awareness of where he is. He has no more smokes to offer himself some coverage here, and as he goes for this door, there's the verticality that's instantly going to bite towards him. A Solace causing problems, does get caught. 3 versus 1, 20 seconds to get the first, no more. There is 2 rounds for ScarZ on their defense and a timeout. Still probably not par for the course they want.
Not a great individual performance from ScarZ so far, and Pamazu obviously 1-5, which we highlighted as a problem, but I mean, Troy is 6-3, and the rest of the team is positive aside from Pamazu. Like, they're showing up individually, even if one of their main entries isn't having a good day.
Well, Beaulo is going to take over the role of the Valkyrie that was not massively utilized by ScarZ. They're able to get 1, maybe 2 sort of aggressive motions, but none of it really netted the results that this map can offer. You can see that there's a bit of a spread and attention being paid towards him, caught on the side of the soft wall, but he sprays back through.
Okay.
A little bit of a passing gift towards the lobby. Now he's looking for a second, and he finds it. Same place, same spin. Prep the C4, ready to rip towards the kitchen, but as the Ash sort of delicately tiptoes around, you're thinking, what have they spent here?
What have they spent here? But honestly, I mean, I'm taking Beaulo on this. Well, that's why I don't make bets. That's why you don't bet.
They always say you quit just before you hit it big.
Yeah, exactly.
Next round, you'll call it, hey, maybe at this point we'll have a proper Pamba party.
But, I mean, to be fair, Beaulo still gets 2 picks. He dies, 1 minute 50 seconds wasted. It's a good pinch, I guess, finally from ScarZ, but this was their better side against Furia yesterday. They showed really good decisiveness and decision-making when they needed to, you know, if they were moving too slowly, but it's too little, too slow, too late for ScarZ at the moment. They weren't able to get that roam clear. They feed Beaulo 1v1s. They're now at a 2v4. Rex found a bit of a gap down EXO stairs, but even if he makes his way into sight and gets a kill, DarkZero have the advantage and the time to react accordingly.
40 seconds, delicately tiptoeing in towards the site. NJR locks them right back out. There's Rek with the hop. We saw the previous round end in exactly the same kill, funnily enough, and exactly the sort of similar balance, but cool as you like, really, there from DarkZero. They weren't ever really under massive pressure. Beaulo was, but he had different ideas.
They're vibing right now.
Yeah.
It's very, you know, given the roof right there, it's very easy to rotate between IT and Aqua, Garage, wherever you want. Bringing the Maverick as well. No Thatcher, so actually no other hard breaching except that Maverick just occurred to me. Contrast that with DZ's attacks. They brought the Thermite, the Thatcher, and the Ace. Now you only have the Maverick to open up these exterior walls. If time was a problem last time, it's especially going to be a problem here.
I mean, it's a curious lineup. They had 9 flashes to try and send themselves in. They've got the Maverick, which sort of goes against that. The impact prep there, and the swing round Beaulo fishes for Washoy and reels him in. The blind on the back end, he's just going to sort of pre-aim and pre-place it.
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
this is for the YouTube highlight.
10-4, 11-4. Will it be 12? He swapped back to his primary because, well, he's got the clip. He's got it. He's done. He's loading. Canadian goes down in the same second. 4 of the 9 smoke flash canisters.
You even got a C4. Like,
really netted a result. I mean, they're fully stepped. They're fully ready. And you say this about a team that's well set up. What do? Rex in the position to be aggro, but he doesn't have any flashes to go ready. Nath, he's ready for this. How many will he get is the question. NJR gets Rex, so he's not at least going to get that one because will DarkZero know? They have the full awareness. The Maverick's gone wide. Beaulo gets his third for the round. He's back on the revolver for the sheer thrill of it. And he's about to pop round the side. He's just darting either way around. One more for the Yeehaw.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh! He got hard yeed. The reverse Yeehaw.
Brutal.
And again, you're back to the Maverick, back to slow as anything. You have the pockets of Buck, but you sort of look at the dichotomy of the right-hand side of your screen. You've got the pace of Ying, the control of Lion, and then you're going at the pace of a Maverick. You've got no Ash, you've got no Ram. Instead, Nina's just going to try and hot send it around the corner. Can't get anything more, has to pull back. What are they dipping for?
That's what I'm not sure about. I mean, they're clearly trying to get aggressive, but then they immediately fall back. DarkZero are playing a bit more passive on this realm, which I think is honestly good. You're letting ScarZ go on in, but if you're going against a more experienced team, and you then coordinate a retake between Pambazoo and Canadian, I think that could really catch them off guard once they push in. I mean, and then you also have, yeah, you got what, now 2 players on the site. NJR is one of your key anchors. This is a good look from DarkZero, and ScarZ now 2 minutes in, clearly looking a bit stumped as to what to do.
And that's the strange thing here about how it's felt that ScarZ's play today. It doesn't really seem like they know what they want to do, whether it's a conversation of their usual game or they're trying to correct themselves against DarkZero's game. You have a team that is trying to piece things together.
And also, if you look at how they're piecing it together, they've got 4 Candelas, but the bulk of this isn't... Sure, there's 3 players on site, but I'm really looking to this retake of the vertical to fully deny this, and those players aren't going to get blinded by the Candelas Fish-like has. So whatever utility they're going to use, it might not be as effective as they're hoping for.
This fight goes away, and the round might. There's the first. Down below, they've got rid of the caution player, and Rex able to get one more. Okay, watched on the back. The blinds come through, but they still got to land a kit. 20 seconds, and there's at least one back for the cover of Nath. They've dropped down the kitchen hatch and rocked right back out.
No.
Nath doesn't care of any of this. A little bit too long, and it raises the question and the argument. Where are they going to be? Well, there's only one place they could, and DarkZero so ready for it. Wreck is all that's left. Gets one, no more. DarkZero. Not really pressured, but still the start. They're still not out of the woods yet. Unfortunately, ScarZ, that's their second loss. They are one step closer, but not yet, towards being eliminated.
DarkZero now in the same spot they found themselves in Atlanta. 2-1 for the promotion game, so not flawless, but still a familiar spot for them, and I think they're very happy with that win.